I feel like Hollywood's going through a phase right now where every single movie feels like a sequel or remake of a previous one. I meant to start this video with something like after 23 years, we finally got a sequel of Freaky Friday, but I felt that I've been saying that quite a bit lately. For example, with my review of The Naked Gun or Fantastic Four: The First Steps. But hey, maybe I will do a video about nostalgia as a marketing strategy, especially when we talk about filmmaking. But for now, let's focus on this movie starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, and also two new girls. The first thing that I have to say though is that this movie is really good at further developing that relationship between Tess and Anna Coleman. You can see how the characters grew from their experiences that we saw in the first film, and at the same time, you can notice their limitations. In the case of Tess, you're able to appreciate that she's wiser, but at the same time, she struggles to cede control of the family dynamics. And in the case of Anna, she has become a more centered person who is unable to fully empathize with her daughter. On the other hand, the two new girls who get wrapped up in the whole body swapping spell or curse or whatever actually feel like real fleshed out characters. They've got their own desires, challenges, and personalities, and the plot does a great job of throwing them and everyone else into situations that sometimes had me laughing and other times had me genuinely anxious. However, that's probably where the good things of the script end, because more often than not, I found myself identifying different plot lines that the script didn't even attempt to resolve. There were situations that just happened, which made me laugh, but then the scene would cut, providing no real resolution to the conflict of that scene. And I know that in storytelling, there's a thing called ellipsis, which is a narrative device that omits parts of the story, but that is commonly used in two different scenarios. When the information that is not being shown is obvious to the audience and you don't want to bore them, or when you deliberately omit parts of the story so that you can have some plot twist afterwards. However, neither of these circumstances seem to be applicable to the movie. You just feel that there are some chunks of the plot missing. And, in general, the script appears to have been made by AI, with a bot capable of thinking of funny and cringe-worthy situations, but with no idea of how to solve them. Also, while Jamie Lee Curtis's performance was probably the highlight of the film, Lindsay Lohan's felt kinda stiff. Several scenes were supposed to be quite emotional, but I didn't see any movement in her forehead, which was kind of disturbing. And I know that I'm probably just nitpicking at this point, but when Lindsay Lohan's playing guitar, you can clearly see that she's not really playing. And yes, I know that that is not super relevant for this film. However, with so many movies in the past decade about playing instruments live, this just feels lazy. And this is why I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10. It had good moments, but it also felt like a Disney Channel movie. But what do you think? Do you agree with me, or do you give it a higher or lower score? Comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and for now, I'm out.